So today what we're going to do is that we're going to take a look at the Play Trees, and these are Sonos speakers that were launched in the year 2011. So bear in mind, until this day, these are 9 years old technology. And on your left here are the Sonos One. These are the refreshed versions of the original Sonos Play 1. So this Sonos One Gen 2 will launch actually in 2019. Between these two speakers, there are 8 years of technology apart. These are 3 drivers in each enclosure, 1 tweeter and 2 mid-bass drivers. At the back of these speakers, you will see a bass radiator. These are racetrack bass radiators. It's kind of like oval and elliptical in shape, and you might just be able to catch a glimpse of it through this. So the holes are there for it to vent and move air so that it can bounce the sound of the back wall and for more presence in the bass department. Each of these drivers are also amped individually. So there are 3 amps, 3 digital amps inside these speakers to drive each of the drivers. This Sonos One, they are 2 drivers speakers. So you have 1 tweeter and you will have 1 mid-bass driver here. Now, you are losing out from the Play Trees because there are only 2 drivers, 1 mid-bass, they have 2 mid-bass and a bass radiator at the back of this. And if you look at the volume, this is considerably bigger, and this is a side profile. You will be able to see that these are overall going to be much larger in volume. So the test today, I'm going to run through in 3 phases. First, I'm going to play a track, and this track will allow you to listen in its entirety, and I'll switch between the Play Trees and the Ones so that you can hear the sound quality differences. They're going to be played at the same normalized volume as set in the Sonos controller. I'm setting both the volume position to the same position on the volume slider, and then you will probably hear some sound difference. You might be wondering, is this guy going to be louder at the same volume setting, or is this guy going to be louder at the same volume setting? So in the next part of the test, what I'll do is I'll run through a set of frequency tones, and I'll play tones all the way from 20 Hz up to a kilohertz. And what I have is I have also set up a power monitor, and this power monitor will measure wattage draw from the wall for driving a pair of these speakers and a pair of these speakers at any given point in time. It will also help me record what is the maximum wattage draw from the wall throughout the whole listening session. And it will help me record the maximum wattage draw throughout the whole frequency spectrum sweep that we're going to do. So you have an understanding of how much power is drawing for each frequency band. These frequency bands are going to be played at full volume. The sound was really irritating, and it might irritate you. So during that section, I'm going to put up a warning and ask you to reduce the volume, because it's going to be a frequency tones, sine waves. You won't be able to tell much from it. It is not meaningful to listen to it. You won't be able to tell the quality difference from the 2 speakers anyway. So what I'm going to do next is to record a song playing at about half the volume on the Play Trees, so that you can see what the power draw is during a regular song. I can't blast this at full volume. It's going to be much too disturbing. So what I will do now is to reset this. So this has been reset, and I will start playing. As you can see, the amp draw wasn't very high. This is the highest it went, and this is at half volume. Let's move on to the next one. I'm going to change this so you can tell, and I will be shifting the mic over to the Sonos One. I will switch this to play from the Sonos One and not the Play 3, and the volume is going to be set to the same point. Alright, and I will reset this guy and start playing the song. If you notice, the amp draw was actually a little bit higher than when the Sonos Play 3 was playing for the same song at the same volume. Now we're going to see what the peak wattage was from this. 24.3. Actually, that is higher than the below 20 that we were looking at earlier. Okay, so that concludes our test. I'll leave you to make the conclusion. Okay, so what I have set up here is that I'm close miking this. It's about 5 to 6 inches away from the Sonos One. So what's going to happen is I will be playing a series of tones. There are 22 test tones, all the way from 20 Hz up to 1 kilohertz. It's going to play at full volume to the Sonos One. This is the Sonos One that I'm going to play it to. And we will measure the power output from there. So recording will start soon. Watch the power draw. The test tones will be playing full volume on the Sonos One. the test tones are done for the Sonos One. Some parts of it were really loud, 80.7 watts. Next, I'll switch over to red so that you can see that I'm physically switching the speakers over. I will replay this. Before that, I will reset this. So now this is reset, and I'll play this on the Sonos Play 3. Take out the one. Here you go. Okay, so this is done. Now that the tests are over, the listening test was done, and the frequency tests are done, and you have seen the wattage draw. The results might surprise you, it might not, but bear in mind, these are new technology. These are very, very old, 9 years old technology. Back in 2011, just to give you an idea, 2011 was when the iPhone 4 was current. iPhone 4S was launched in 2011. These were launched when the iPhone 4s were around. So there's no AirPlay, And the technology is probably a little bit older. The components or the quality of the components were probably a little bit different from what they were able to source from these guys. So let me know in the comment section below if the results surprised you. I sure was quite surprised. I like these guys. Sonos actually announced a new product, which is the Sonos Arc. It is a bigger and wider and a more modern soundbar that supports Dolby Atmos. So Dolby Atmos was missing from the whole Sonos lineup, from the Beam to the Play Bass to the old Play Bar. None of those were supporting Atmos. This new Arc supports Atmos. Other than that, they updated the Sonos Play 5 to the Sonos 5. And they also updated the sub from the Gen 2 to the Gen 3. The sub didn't see much changes. Actually, the Sonos 5 didn't see much changes either. Now, the Sonos 5 was brought in line with the naming, the branding and the naming of the Sonos One. It was Sonos Play 1, then it went on to the Sonos One. It was Sonos Play 5, it went on to the Sonos 5. I'm waiting on these guys. I love the Sonos Play 3. They strike a very good balance in terms of size and in terms of the sound quality and power. But they did not make any updates to the Sonos Play 3. I wish they came out with a Sonos 3, but they didn't. I'm still waiting on them. I will probably be holding on to these guys until they come out with the Sonos 3, at which point I will move. Let's hope if they don't do it by the end of this year, maybe next year. Sonos has been very, very famous for holding on to their product lines for pretty long. So this might be a little bit long in the tooth. It's 9 years old now. I'm still holding on to them. Not that my units are 9 years old, right? I got them quite late in the product life cycle, but I like them. They are actually very, very nice looking speakers, but it's looking a little bit dated next to the new lineup. Now, if you found this video interesting, I will be doing a series of tests all on these kind of equipments, on audiophile equipments. I'm also doing reviews and testing on charging, on batteries, on iPads, on MacBooks. So anything that's got to do with electronics, I actually love them. And if you subscribe to my channel, please make sure to ring the notification bell. So when I drop any videos, you'll be notified and you can check the videos out as soon as possible. If you were surprised by these test results, do remember to share it with your Sonos loving friends and share it in the Sonos loving community. I was surprised. I'm a big Sonos fan. I'm a big Sonos lover. And today, when I conduct the test, I myself was surprised. So I'm quite sure that there will be people out there who are also surprised by the results of the testing. So a very good evening to all and see you in the next video.